Rainy, cloudy day, and we needed lights inside because it was so dark. So we decided to kind of follow the pattern of others, and just the cheap plastic feet and the weird rail on the back wall, which they didn't send us, IKEA, even though Brandy went through it with the lady at the store, said, yep, you have everything you need. We got here 4 hours away and nothing. And most of this we had to order out of Houston, IKEA, and they wouldn't deliver here to Star Valley, Wyoming. So we had to go to Logan, have it delivered to our kids' college dorm, not dorm, but off-campus apartment. And then we picked it up there. It's just, IKEA has been a nightmare this time around, and I would never do it again with them. But other people we've liked watching, the only one I remember is Up to Code, K-O-D-E, with Cody Horvath or something like that. I can't remember his last name. Up to Code, K-O-D-E. He has a series on how he custom builds cabinetry. I built this out of 2x6s, which I may regret, but it is the Island, so it's got a significant slab on it, and it's heavy duty. So I just went ahead and ripped these down to 5 1/4 thickness, and that way we can run our 3/4 inch hardwood floors all the way up to it and still have a 4.5 inch space for the toe kick. And hopefully it's big enough where I'll rip off just the bottom of the toe kick. But that should be right. I don't know that I'll build the other footings for the wall cabinet, the cabinets against the walls, out of this 2x6. I bought what that Up to Code guy uses. He uses a 3/4 inch plywood. All I could get from that they had at our local hard lumber place in our small valley was this cabinet grade, so it's $100 a sheet. I think he used the carpenter grade or whatever, so it's like $40 a sheet. I can't remember. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna rip this down to my 5 1/4 and do the other bases. The thing I'm doing is I'm cross measuring for square, although because I cut these all dead on, it should square itself up, and it's squaring itself up according to my floor markings. But I did do the 3, 4, 5, so I just doubled 3, so I got 6, so I double 4 to get 8, and then I double 5. It should give me 10 from this little spot to this little spot. So 3, 4, 5 method to square your corners, and I just checked it. But I'll show you that from outside edge, outside corner to outside marker, or marker to marker is 10. So that's dead on. So I think I can start anchoring it once I level it. All right, we had set I feel like we set the foundation up pretty level, so I set that on there and it is dead level. Let's check the other side. That's close to dead level, but it could possibly come up in that corner slightly. Just a smidge. So let's check the cross. That corner over there might be a smidge low. First we'll check this one, and this one should be level. It says this corner needs to come up a bit. It says this corner needs to come up a bit. So I'll bet just this whole side needs to slightly shift up. All right, so I just threw these shims in along this side, and that now has everything just dead level all the way across. So I'm gonna screw it into the floor and anchor it, and then I can set these cabinets on here and see how those look and decide what I'm gonna do to space them and cinch them together properly. So I did my first major screw up after I screwed it all into the ground. It's all solid, shimmed. I was just about to pop the shims, and I don't know why it's always after the fact that your brain goes, oh, and by the way, you didn't take out enough board so you'd have a 4-inch toe kick on that end. I took out 4 inches for the toe kick on this side, but not on that side. So I think I'm just gonna split the difference and have a 2-inch toe kick on each side of the island. Or maybe I'll just put it all on that side because we have a 1-foot overhang. So I don't need a toe kick down there. That's what I was doing in my brain, I think. Let's see. Stuff drives me crazy after you build and build and build and get it just right. And then your brain says, oh, let me remind you of this little detail you forgot. Okay, so that's an approximation. I need to put those boards in and cinch it all together and all that. So I'll have just enough overhang that I can wrap the toe kick around, and then the granite will overhang here. So not the ideal, but I think it'll work out just fine. All right, on to the next batch. We'll go over here. We're gonna rip this plywood now to start building the bases for the others. So I want it to be 5 1/4, and the width of the edge of my saw to the blade is 1 1/8. So I've got this pinned at 1 1/8 to give me that width, and my blade should run right down there and leave me a 5 1/4. And I'll just rip a bunch of pieces out of this and then start cobbling together my bases. Hopefully this works out. I'm guessing the edge wasn't right, or oh, you know what? I bet this board is crowned. So what I'm gonna do, I was gonna say it's like 5 1/8 and then 5 1/4 and then 5 1/8, so it crowned out on me. So what I'm gonna do is cut a little bit wider. I'll just slightly bigger pieces all the way across. I'll just cut a whole bunch of strips, and then on the table saw, I'll just start ripping those just down to perfect widths. So, darn it, one waste piece. All right, so we I ripped all these down. I cut them about 5 3/4 inches, and then I ripped them down to 5 1/4 on the table saw. So hopefully I have, be nice if this did everything. It might. Otherwise I got another sheet over there. So I think I'll take it inside and start putting things together in there. All right, so I think I determined I'm gonna make them 20 inches deep out from the wall. So I'm gonna practice. The first cabinet sits isolated by itself next to the dishwasher, and it's 24 inches wide. So I'll do a 24 by 20. And I'll make all the cuts for those pieces and use a 18 gauge brad nailer to put them all together and set it in place and see what it looks like. All right, so I cut all the pieces I think I need. These are what I'll make the L's with for the, oh, I think I need one more of those. Yeah, I need to go cut one more of these. But these 24-inch ends. And these I'll make those L things for the fillers. I need one more on the top. So, this is what that guy does, the Cody dude, the up to code, K-O-D-E dude does. Quick thing is on all my saws, I have a 60 tooth on here. I have a 40 tooth on my, these are all finished blades. And then I think I have a 60 tooth on my table saw. And I swapped those out for the frame. I swapped all the blades out once I started doing the trim cuts and this more stuff that I want to be more finished and precise and clean cuts. So, which is pretty much from here on out after you've done framing all that rough, heavy lumber. Arg. I built both of the U-shaped deals, and now I'll fix them to the ends here. These brad nails like to just shoot out the sides though. It's kind of a pain. Place. I haven't screwed it into the floor or to the wall yet. I think I'm gonna build, there's a gap here for the dishwasher. I think I'll build the next unit, which will all be one big base. And then I'll level all of them together and get them all dialed in together. But I will set this on there just real quick to see that it fits. So that looks good with the toe kick. On these, I left a 4-inch gap, so with the toe kick, it'll be 3-inch, but if there's a face too, it might end up being a true 4-inch toe kick space in there. I'm gonna do that in the whole L. Rainy, rainy day. A little tip if you build these, take this as your top piece and put the short side on first. Just pin it to the floor and nail them, and then take your long piece and pin it to the floor and nail them. If you do it in reverse, then you don't have anything to set that against when you go to nail your short piece in. And I switched to 1.5 inch brads, and I don't think I've had any split outs or curve outs on when I'm shooting so far. So, all right, build this next one. Woo, September 21st. Look at that, snow. That's probably, we're 6,000. The peak up behind it's 10,000. So I'm guessing that's 8,000 feet, 9,000 feet. There's quite a bit of snow back up in there too. Well, it's here, September 21st, Wyoming. All right, so we built this one. They were two 66-inch pieces with 4 of those U or L shapes. You don't technically need to do the full U on them all, but I just went and did it so I can anchor it to the floor in 4 places. And now I'll have to take measurements off the wall and get them transferred to the sink cabinet, and then we can set it on there, and we'll have to cut out for that. So this will be a tricky one. All right, that cabinet's in. The sink cabinet, somehow I was way off on that guy. Oh, I didn't account for the 3/4 inch wall and floor. I measured that first, and then afterwards I accommodated for that on the holes. This guy, I couldn't find my smaller bits, and so what I did last time was I cut a big hole, and then once I found my smaller bit, I cut a piece and slid it just over the pipe, and I glued it down so it just fit really nice and snug, and it looked clean and nice. So, in fact, I think I did one big piece where it glued down over all 3. So, anyway, but it is perfectly level, just like the others. So, that's awesome. And I think I'm done. I'll build those 2 bases on either side of the stove tomorrow, and try and get the wood, 3/8 inch wood that I need. I have to move all these brackets back on these outside, back in. There's 2 positions, out or in. And then I'll mount that wood on the wall and just screw it into all the studs. And then there's some type of mounting bracketry in these boxes that allows you to mount right into the wood. So, and then those will be fixed in place, I'm hoping by the end of tomorrow. That would be sweet. If not, then Saturday for sure. And they should be all dead level. So, and then I just need to clamp them all together per some videos and screw them together so that they're all locked together, and somehow screw them down into the bases here to affix themselves to those bases. But first I need to level those bases, take these off, level the bases, and then get these on. That's it for today. Let's go look at the snow one more time. Pretty sunset. See if we can get out the back door to the porch. Yes, we can. It's been nice once it's all covered. We can have a sunset that way and sunrise this way. Yeah, look at that. Snow on the mountaintops. Up Strawberry Canyon there. Ton of snow. Not a ton, but good dusting. Nice. September 21st, winter's here.